In the modern world of lacrosse, most players are specialists, either offensive or defensive, and are platooned as such throughout games. It's an editorial comment. Our next inductee in the players category, however, aspired to be a complete player, strong in both ends of the floor and in transition, and he undoubtedly achieved that goal. Born in 1952 in Peterborough, he honed his lacrosse skills in his hometown's minor system, eventually in 1970 earning a spot on the PCO's Junior A team. He remained with the PCOs for the next 4 seasons, and in that time took part in 3 Minto Cup series, winning the Treasured Cup twice. Their first crack at the national crown was in 1971, his second season of Junior A ball, and although they were defeated by the upstart Richmond Roadrunners in a fiercely fought 7-game series, they returned to Peterborough firmly focused on returning to Minto Cup action in 1972. And return they did, sweeping the Roadrunners in the return match, and then, in his final year of junior eligibility, winning the 73 Cup, again over Richmond. Upon completion of his junior eligibility, he was well on his way to becoming that complete player. As a junior, he was reputed to have the hardest shot in Canada. He quarterbacked the power play from the point and shooter's positions, was such a solid defensive player that he was virtually impossible to beat one-on-one, generally played on the penalty-killing unit, and was always one of the team's best at retrieving loose balls, a vital skill requiring speed, skill, strength, and courage. Although strong in all facets of the game, he still managed to accumulate 343 points, including 156 goals, a pace of 3 points per game over his junior career. He had indeed become a complete player. In 1974, the National Lacrosse League was formed, and like many Canadian players, he took the plunge and entered the NLL draft. He was selected in the 4th round by the Rochester Griffins, making him the first graduating junior player selected. He proceeded to make a seamless jump to professional lacrosse, racking up 49 goals and adding 56 assists for 105 points, and was an integral part of the Griffins' march to the first NLL title. The team relocated to Long Island for their second season, and he certainly didn't skip a beat. He posted totals of 57 goals, 103 assists, and 160 points, good for 10th spot among the league's top scorers, and helped the Tomahawks to first place in the regular season. Unfortunately, the NLL folded at the conclusion of the 1975 season, but our inductee, one of the youngest players to play in the league, certainly made his mark. The 159 assists he accumulated in the NLL's 2 seasons was 6th among all pro players. The 265 points he racked up placed him 9th, and he had developed into the type of player that any coach could build a team around. After the NLL ceased operations, he headed west and joined the New Westminster Salmon Bellies, helping the Bellies to a hard-fought 7-game series Mann Cup victory over Brampton. Injuries forced him to sit out the 1977 and 78 seasons, and he returned home to Peterborough where he joined the Lakers for the 1979 Major Series season. He played his usual 2-way game and chipped in 63 points, roughly 3 a game, as the Lakers won the OLA Major crown, only to be swept by Victoria in the Mann Cup. His next 3 seasons were relatively injury-free, and in 1982, he got his second Mann Cup ring as the Lakers defeated New Westminster for the national title. The injury bug bit again, and he was forced to miss the 1983 and 84 Major Series seasons, but he returned to the Lakers for the 1985 campaign, his last full season. Even with a bad wrist, a bad back, and surgically repaired knees, he had a solid farewell year, contributing 58 points as the Lakers fell to eventual Mann Cup winners Brooklyn in the Major Series final. In all, he totaled 783 points, including 500 assists in his nearly 300-game major career, and was always the consummate team player who strove to make his teammates better. In addition to his exemplary box lacrosse playing career, he added a brief field lacrosse fling to his resume in the mid-'80s, winning provincial field titles in 1983 and 84, and a Canadian title in 1985, and was an active coach in the Peterborough Minor Lacrosse Association, leading Tyke, Bantam, and Midget teams to provincial titles from 1988 to 95. In recognition of his contributions to lacrosse in Peterborough, both on and off the floor, he was inducted into the Peterborough and District Sports Hall of Fame in 2014, joining his father Mick, a 1980 inductee, and in 2015 again joined his dad, this time in the Ontario Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Tonight he joins his father once again, this time as an honored member of the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame, Jan Magee. Now, as most of you are aware, Jan sadly passed away suddenly this past summer, shortly after receiving word of his induction. I'd like to ask his sons, Matt and Mike, to come forward and accept proudly on their dad's behalf.
I'm just going to say something short and sweet here. Mikey has a speech for us. I'm not much of a talker, but I just want to thank Tony, Dave, and especially Leah for making us feel so welcome here at the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and very honored to represent my father. Also want to thank Randy Bryant and JJ to make the trip. Well, JJ to make the trip. RB is here, but he wouldn't miss it for the world, and to be here for Dad as well. And thank you very much. And I'm going to let Mikey take it from here.
Good evening, everyone. My brother and Matt are here tonight. There's the Mickey bottle again, I guess. Are here tonight to accept this Hall of Fame honor on behalf of our father, Clinton Jan Magee. Some of you may know him as Five. I received a phone call a few months ago while I was leaving work. It was my dad. He had this excitement in his voice, and I was trying to figure out the reason for this excitement. He said to me, "Mikey, we're going to Vancouver in November." I replied, "What are you talking about?" He said it again. "Mikey, going to Vancouver in November." I said, "I just got a call from Kenny Rattan. I was inducted to the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame." "Are you serious?" I said to him. He said, "Yes, but I got to go. I'm going to be late for the Laker game tonight." I said, "I just wanted you and your brother to be first to know. I'll give you a call tomorrow." It was the last time I spoke with my father. After staying late at the rink to finish his duties as the life skills coach, he went home and went to bed. If you knew my father, the title of life skills coach was pretty good. So he passed away peacefully asleep that evening, but I know he went to bed a very happy man, knowing of this amazing honor. Tonight is a happy time, and we're here to celebrate not only my father, but the rest of the amazing people and athletes in this room. That was my father when it came to sports. He always thought of his teammates first. If you look at his assist totals, I believe some of you may agree. To be honest, I knew my dad was a great lacrosse player, even when I was a young age, but I never knew how truly good he was until he was inducted into the Peterborough Sparks Hall of Fame, and I began to read his stats and accomplishments. He never bragged, never spoke about how good he was. He was very humble and let his accomplishments speak for themselves. I'm going to quote my father's words from his speech at the Peterborough Sparks Hall of Fame induction. Where would any of us be without our teammates? I know the successes I had as a young age were due in large part to my team. Together we shared many adventures that we grew up together. I would like to thank each and every one of you, but I'm afraid I would forget somebody. I just want you all to know I'm proud to call you my friends, and I share this honor with you all. I'd like to give a special thanks to Paul and Carly Evans and Tim Barry. In closing, the game of life is short-lived, so make an impact, make it count, have fun. Thanks again to the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame as my father joins his dad, Mick Magee, in the hall. I love you, Dad, miss you. You'll always be remembered.